Okay, so you're trying to find the perfect logo designer,
Mm-hmm.
not just somebody who can like draw a little.
Right.
You want a real brand whisperer.
Yeah.
And you've been smart. You've already started doing some research,
Right.
looking into things like Fiverr and Upwork,
Mm-hmm.
99 Designs, Freelancer.com. But
Lots of choices.
yeah, there are a lot of choices out there.
Yeah.
It's easy to get lost in the weeds.
It really is.
So how do you even begin to choose?
Well, it's interesting because it's not even really about choosing the platform so much as it's choosing the right process for you.
Okay.
Because each of these is really like a different path to kind of the same goal.
So it's not so much which one of these is the best, it's
Right.
which one is right for me.
Yes, exactly. And figuring that out really starts with two of the things that came up constantly in our research.
Right.
Your budget and your timeline.
Yeah, those always seem to be the big ones.
Always.
And speaking of budget, when we're talking about keeping things affordable, Fiverr seems to be the one that comes up over and over again.
Yeah. And, our source really highlighted just how simple and how budget-friendly it is.
Yeah.
They've got a ton of filters, so you can zero in on exactly what you're looking for.
Right.
And you can find people who are offering logo designs for unbelievably low prices,
Yeah.
often with really fast turnaround times.
Okay.
But like with anything else in life, you get what you pay for.
Right. It's like that cheap sweater you get at the discount store.
Exactly.
They fall apart after you wash it.
Exactly. You might not be getting that high quality, but if you're on a super tight budget
Yeah.
and you need something like yesterday,
You need it yesterday.
Fiverr might be the way to go.
So maybe Fiverr if you're in a pinch and you need something fast.
Yeah.
But if you've got a little more wiggle room in the budget and
Yeah.
you really want to invest in something more polished,
Hmm.
our source seems to think that Upwork is the way to go there.
Yeah, Upwork is interesting because it's really about quality over quantity.
Okay.
So instead of just looking at a bunch of pre-made logos,
Mm-hmm.
you actually post a really detailed brief.
Okay.
You outline exactly what you need,
Okay.
and then designers will get back to you with these personalized proposals.
Oh, wow.
So it's not just like, here's my generic thing I give to everybody.
All right.
It's, I read your brief. I understand what you need.
I made this for you.
I made this for you.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
So it's a little bit more of a tailored experience,
it is.
which is probably why it costs a little bit more.
Exactly.
It's like the difference between going to a fast food restaurant
Yes.
versus like a really nice restaurant where they're gonna like make something specifically for you.
It's so true. It's all about that personalized experience.
So you're saying Fiverr is kind of like going through pre-made designs, hoping that something fits.
Yeah,
Upwork is like working with somebody to craft something really unique.
precisely.
Okay, I'm starting to understand this, but what if you don't even really know what you want yet?
Okay.
You just know you need something amazing that really like captures the essence of your brand.
Right. Then you want something like 99 Designs because that's where you have this like design showdown.
Oh yeah, that's the one where it's like a contest, right?
The contest, you put out your vision,
Right.
and then all these designers go head to head submitting their own unique ideas.
See, now to me that sounds both exhilarating and utterly terrifying.
Right, because can you imagine just like being handed 100 different logos
Oh my God.
with all these different styles and personalities, and you have to be like,
How do I even choose?
which one is me?
Yeah.
But at the same time, just seeing your brand interpreted in so many different ways,
Mhm.
that can be really valuable.
You get to see things that you never even considered before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of 99 Designs. You're not just paying for a logo.
Yeah.
You're paying for like this burst of creative brainstorming.
It's like a design think tank.
It really is. And you get to see your brand through all these different lenses.
I love that. Okay, so we've got Fiverr for speed and affordability,
Mm.
Upwork for a more personalized approach.
Yes.
99 Designs if you really want to see like this explosion of creativity.
That's right.
Now, our research also mentioned Freelancer.com.
Yes.
Where does that one fit into the mix?
So Freelancer.com is kind of like that friend who wants to be everybody's best friend.
Okay.
Tries to give you a little bit of everything.
Okay.
So you've got elements of both Upwork and 99 Designs in there.
So it's like a hybrid approach.
That is.
How does that actually work?
So you can post these really detailed briefs, just like on Upwork.
Okay.
And then different freelancers will bid on your project, but you can also opt for these mini contests.
Oh.
Kind of like 99 Designs, but on a smaller scale.
So you get a little taste of that competition
Exactly.
without feeling totally overwhelmed.
Right, but like with anyone who's trying to be everything to everyone,
Yeah.
there are a few drawbacks, and the source did mention that the interface can be a little bit clunky,
Oh, really?
especially compared to some of the other platforms.
So maybe not for the technologically challenged among us?
Maybe not so much.
Okay, so we've got our 4 contenders here.
We do too.
Each one sounds like it has its own personality, its own pros and cons.
It's true, and don't worry, we're going to break it all down.
That's what we're here for. But before we do that,
Okay.
before we dive too deep into each platform, let's talk about some of the potential pitfalls that come with each one.
Let's do it.
So we've met our contestants in this logo design arena: Fiverr, Upwork, 99 Designs, and that really flexible Freelancer.com.
Right.
But like in any competition, there's always fine print,
Always
things they don't tell you in the brochure.
Absolutely.
So what kind of downsides are we looking at with these platforms?
Well, let's start with Fiverr.
Okay.
Because as tempting as that low price tag is, one thing that came up in the research is that you might run into some communication issues.
Yeah, right. Especially if you're working with designers from all over the world.
Exactly.
Time zones, language barriers, all of that.
It's so easy to lose something in translation.
Right, because like one phrase
Yeah,
could mean something totally different.
exactly. And a simple phrase like, make the logo pop,
Right.
could be interpreted in so many ways.
Oh, yeah.
So it's super important to be really clear.
Yeah.
Detailed briefs, visual references.
Right.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Dot your I's and cross your lets, basically.
Exactly.
So what about Upwork?
Upwork.
What are some things to watch out for there?
You know, it seems like the biggest potential downside there is the time commitment.
Yeah, that makes it.
Because you're engaging with designers
Yeah.
on this really personal level. You're looking at these tailored proposals.
Right.
You might even be hopping on a call.
Yeah.
So naturally, the process takes a bit longer.
So it's less of a fast-paced tango.
Yes.
More of a waltz.
Exactly.
Okay.
And some would say that investment of time is worth it because you get more control, more personalized attention.
Right. But if you need a logo, like tomorrow, probably not the best choice.
Probably not.
Okay, let's move on to 99 Designs, because I feel like that one has the potential for both amazing things and utter chaos.
Definitely.
It's a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
It is. And imagine you open your inbox and you've got like 50 different logo options staring back at you.
Oh my gosh.
It can be a lot to process.
That's like going to a buffet
Yes.
and wanting to eat everything.
Right.
But then you get halfway through and you feel sick.
Exactly. You get that decision fatigue.
Totally.
So you definitely need a clear vision of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just going to get lost in this sea of creative possibilities.
So with Fiverr, we've got the communication quirks to look out for.
Right.
Upwork, that time commitment is a real thing.
It is.
And 99 Designs,
Yeah.
be prepared to be overwhelmed
Be prepared.
in the best way, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Now, Freelancer.com.
Yes.
What are we watching out for there?
So the biggest thing that came up with Freelancer.com seems to be the user experience.
Oh, really?
The source did mention that it's a little bit clunkier,
Okay.
a little less intuitive
Less intuitive.
than some of the other platforms.
So maybe not for your technophobe.
Maybe not.
Okay, so we've talked about the downsides.
Yeah.
What about the good stuff?
Ah, yes.
Let's talk about the unique strengths of each of these platforms.
Let's do it.
What is it that makes them shine?
Okay, well, let's go back to Fiverr.
Okay.
Besides the budget-friendly prices, what do you think is like the biggest advantage there?
Well, you really get a sense of this global marketplace.
You do.
Like you said, designers from all over the world, which means a huge variety of styles.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
It's all about variety.
Okay, variety and affordability. We've got those two.
We do.
What about Upwork?
What about Upwork? Upwork for me is really about that emphasis on building a genuine relationship
Oh, okay.
with a designer. Because it's not just a transaction.
Right, it's collaborative.
It's about understanding. Finding somebody who really vibes with your brand.
It's like finding your creative soulmate.
It really is. You can talk to them about your brand story,
Okay.
your values, who your ideal customer is.
So you're not just getting a logo, you're getting someone who understands your business.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So we've got variety with Fiverr, collaboration with Upwork. What about 99 Designs?
99 Designs is all about unlocking these creative possibilities that you might not have even considered.
Okay.
So it's really about pushing those boundaries.
Thinking outside the box.
Yes, and seeing your brand through all these different lenses.
It's like if you took your brand to a design festival
I love that.
and just got to experience all these different styles and ideas.
Yes, and you might go in thinking you want something really sleek and minimalist,
Right?
but then you see something bold and playful, and it's like,
Ooh.
ooh, that's me.
I like where your head's at.
Right, so 99 Designs opens those doors for you.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, last but certainly not least, we have Freelancer.com.
Yes, the master of flexibility.
Okay, how so?
Well, you can test the waters with the design contest without fully committing.
Okay.
Or you can go the more traditional freelance hiring route.
And it's still more affordable than Upwork or 99 Designs.
Exactly. It hits that sweet spot.
So really, it's kind of a choose-your-own adventure.
It is.
Okay, this has been so helpful because we've gone from feeling totally lost to having a real understanding of what we're looking at.
And that's the beauty of a good deep dive.
It is.
You ask the right questions, you get the right answers.
Exactly. And now we can actually start thinking about choosing the right platform.
Yes, but choosing the platform is only half the battle.
Because then we actually have to find the designer.
We have to find the designer.
Okay, so we've explored Fiverr.
Mm-hmm.
We've navigated Upwork.
Yes.
We got a little bit overwhelmed by 99 Designs.
Maybe just a little.
In a good way.
In a good way.
And then we dipped our toes into Freelancer.com.
We really got a sense for each of those platforms.
We did.
Their personalities, what they're good at, what they're not so good at.
Tell they're all a little bit different.
But ultimately, at the end of the day,
yeah,
choosing the right platform, it's only the first step.
It is.
It's like finding the right trailhead for your hike.
I like that.
But then you actually have to do the hiking.
You got to put in the work.
You have to find the designer.
You do. And that's actually the most crucial part of this whole process.
Really?
It's not the platform itself. It's the connection that you build with the designer.
Okay, because you could pick the perfect platform.
You could.
But if you've got the wrong designer,
right,
it's not going to matter.
It's not going to matter at all because ultimately, no matter how many cool features a platform has, it's the human being behind the screen who's actually crafting your logo.
So it's really about finding that creative partner.
Exactly.
Who understands your vision.
Yes.
Who gets you.
It's like dating, but for your brand. Oh, I like that a lot because you're going on these design dates.
Yes, you are.
And you're trying to figure out
who's the one.
Who's the one.
Right. And just like dating, it starts with asking the right questions.
Okay. So what kind of questions should we be asking ourselves before we even start going on these design dates?
What really comes down to understanding your brand's core identity.
Okay, so we're doing a little soul searching.
We are figuring out, what are your values?
Okay.
What message are you trying to get across? Who are you even talking to?
And hopefully, if you're listening to this podcast, you've already thought about these things a bit.
Right, because these are things that every business owner really needs to know.
Absolutely.
But they become extra important when you're trying to create a visual representation of your brand.
Because your logo is more than just a pretty picture.
Exactly.
It says something.
It does.
Okay, so we've done the soul searching.
Okay.
We've got our brand identity figured out.
Maybe you.
What's next?
Now we start thinking about what we actually want this logo to look like.
Okay, so this is where we get to, like, the design preferences.
This is it. So are we thinking bold and modern?
Okay.
Classic. Elegant. Minimalist. Intricate.
So many options.
There are so many, and this is really about defining your brand's personality.
Okay.
If your brand was a person,
yeah,
what would they wear?
What kind of clothes? What kind of vibe?
Exactly.
Okay, and then we also need to think practically.
We do.
Like, where is this logo going to be used?
Right. Is this primarily an online brand?
Okay.
Is this going on merchandise?
Is it going to be printed really small?
Exactly.
On a business card?
These are all things that a good designer is going to consider.
Okay.
But it really helps if you've already thought about it ahead of time.
So you're speaking the same language from the get-go.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've done our homework.
Yes.
We're ready to start going on these design dates.
We are.
How do we actually find these designers to go on dates with?
Okay, well, this is where all that research we did on the different platforms really comes in handy.
Right, because we were looking at portfolios.
Yes, you've bookmarked designers whose styles you like.
But it's more than just liking their style, right?
It is. It's about making sure that their process aligns with yours.
Okay.
So don't be shy about asking them about their process.
Okay.
How do they approach a new project? How do they like to communicate?
Okay, do they send daily updates or is this like a weekly check-in kind of thing?
Because even the most talented designer in the world isn't a good fit if you can't communicate.
If you're not speaking the same language.
Exactly. And it's also worth asking them about their experience with brands in your industry.
Right. Have they designed logos for similar businesses?
Exactly. Because that can be a really good sign.
Not a deal breaker.
Not a deal breaker, but definitely a good thing.
Definitely a plus.
And then be upfront about your budget.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
And your timeline.
Because there's nothing worse than falling in love with someone's work.
Right.
And then finding out they cost 3 times what you can afford.
It happens all the time. So
Yeah.
just be upfront from the beginning.
Yeah. Transparency is key in any relationship.
It really is.
Especially a design relationship.
Especially a design relationship.
Well, this has been fantastic because we went from not even knowing where to begin to having this roadmap.
And that's the power of asking the right questions.
It really is.
Doing a little bit of research.
And now we can go forth.
You can.
And find our perfect design match.
Find your person.
Thank you so much for joining me on this design deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been so much fun. And to you, dear listener,
Yes.
go forth and create amazing brands.